Absolutely perfect. Air temperature 28.1 degrees centigrade. The track is pretty warm as well, 37.4 degrees centigrade. Not a cloud in the sky. Welcome to the seaside. Welcome back, Benjamin Packer. For August by NGT, he has come back after missing the Hockenheim round a couple of weeks ago, and he has put his car on pole position for this race 5 of a 12-race season. Flint Schuring had a very mixed weekend at Hockenheim 2 weeks back. He started on pole position for race 1 of the weekend. 4th place was the best he could manage in the 2nd race on the Sunday, but he starts on the front row as well. A very, very rapid young driver, part of the talent pool. These young drivers that are coming up through the ranks. Gus Burton from Great Britain for Richardson Racing. It's great to have Gus on the grid for this event, a guest driver for Richardson Racing, and he, a great qualifying, is 3rd on the grid. But is that man there, Robert De Haan? He has been stealing the headlines since he started in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Back in Spa in April, he has finished 1st or 2nd in every race so far, but he has qualified in 4th place. It was a very interrupted qualifying session, and 4th place means he's got a bit of work to do from there if he wants to keep his record of finishing either 1st or 2nd alive. Robert De Haan is a very rapid pilot, as indeed is Ariel Levy. He and Robert De Haan are both running in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany this weekend as well. Ariel Levy did not have the best race, he recorded a non-finish, but Robert De Haan, on his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, was troubling the front runners. Glenn van Parijs is the man on a mission, though. He is the man that won the last race at Hockenheim, and that was as a result of Robert De Haan picking up a penalty for track limits. And Robert De Haan was not a happy man about that. He crossed the line first, but eventually was relegated down to 2nd place in race 4 as a result of exceeding track limits. Paul Meyer in the number 77 car. It's good to have him on the grid for Hans Weiss Motorsport, and a 4th place at Hockenheim is what he is looking to improve on, as indeed Rick Kern, another driver who we've seen in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux for a while. 6th place last time out at Hockenheim was his best result. But very much the interest is going to be, what can Robert De Haan do from 4th place on the grid? To remind you, these cars are all identical apart from just basic setup. Keep an eye on Ariel Levy as well, who's starting there, and indeed Glenn van Parijs. 3 very rapid drivers, and there's 3 very rapid drivers ahead of them. Benjamin Packer on pole position, and Flint Schuring. They will be very competitive indeed in the opening stages of this race. We are getting ready to go here at Circuit Zandvoort. It is a wonderful circuit, a very different kind of circuit. It couldn't be more different from Hockenheim. A highly undulating circuit, which is 4.259 kilometers around, with 14 turns, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. Lots of undulation, lots of banked corners, and there you can see the big talking point corner. That is Luijendijk, named after that famous Dutch racer Arie Luijendijk. Turn 14, 18 degrees of banking. It effectively extends the pit straight so the drivers can get on the power earlier, pick up a slipstream along the pit straight and make a move into turn 1, which is the best overtaking opportunity. But we have seen many drivers falling foul of track limits, especially in either turn 1 or turn 3. We've also seen many drivers in the gravel trap. It is a circuit that bites, and the gravel traps are very deep, so once you're in, it's quite difficult to get out again. This is going to be a lively race. Qualifying was interrupted earlier on with red flags. Yesterday in free practice we had a big incident which sadly has seen Mark Vester taken off the scene. He did a lot of damage to his car, having collected the wall in turn 3. But we still have a very full field of cars as they start on their formation lap for this race 5 of the 12-race season. This is Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Pure entertainment from front to back. It is a series that has been the launching pad for so many stars in Porsche and in many other series. A series that grows from strength to strength in its 11th season here in 2023. And to remind you, all the cars are identical except for the AM cars in the AM category who have ABS. Let's take a look at the grid. And of course, it is Benjamin Packer on pole position ahead of Flint Schuring for Huber Racing. Row 2, Gus Burton is joined by Robert De Haan, the championship leader. On row 3 of the grid, Ariel Levy and Glenn Van Parijs line up alongside each other. And on row 4, Paul Meyer and Rick Cohen for Revs Motorsport. Row 5 of the grid, Micah Stanley and Lucas van Eindhoven. And then on row 6, Dirk Schutten, he was looking good at Hockenheim, and Sasha Norden, another rapid driver. Sam de Jonge and Horst Felix Felbermeyer, he's a driver doing the German series as well this weekend. Niles Troost and Ryan Ratcliffe, good to have Ryan back on the grid on row 8. Row 9, Quentin Antonell and Max Vels, and then Cedric Chassang and Aaron Mason lining up on row 10. Row 11, Ralph Poplars and Etienne Pleurns. And on row 12 of the grid, which will appear magically, Jules Grauls and Juan Vignes line up alongside each other. On row 13, Didier Gloria and Mike Rosenberg. And on row 14, Sebastian Lajou and Jamie Font. It is a busy grid. The back row of the grid, row 15, Rick and Ad Geertz, father and son, running together, and they line up at the back of the pack. There are several championships to think about. There's the overall championship. Glenn Van Parijs leads Robert De Haan by 6 points. In the Pro-Am Championship, Sasha Norden is 11 points clear of Aaron Mason, and Ralph Poplars just has 1 point on Cedric Chassang in the AM category. And the rookie category, Robert De Haan leading the way in that, as previously mentioned, over Dirk Schutten. You can see from your graphic the conditions are absolutely perfect for a spot of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. This is going to be spectacular. These cars look pretty good at the best of times on these mighty banked ovals, and I have to tell you, that picture does not do the banking justice. You would struggle to walk up, it is that steep. The cars using it to great effect and looking wonderful. We're in front of a large audience here, part of the DTM package this weekend here at Circuit Zandvoort, and a big audience already been thoroughly entertained by what has been going on here, but they are going to be amazed even more now with Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, because this is proper racing, the real McCoy. These identical Porsche 911 cars based on the latest 992 generation, 510 horsepower, 4 litres of naturally aspirated water-cooled Porsche, the flat 6 boxer engine. They sound amazing and they look amazing. Incredibly fast, incredibly noisy, incredibly entertaining. We now have the final cars in position. We wait for clearance from the back of the grid. And in a few moments, that marshal will wave the green flag and we will be ready to go. It'd be good if we can get through this without any safety cars or red flags. It's gonna be lively. Are you ready? This is Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, Zandvoort style. 5 red lights on, 5 red lights off, and we are going. It's Benjamin Packer, a great start, slots in ahead of Flint Schuring. Robert De Haan already moving up into the 3rd place. Not a great start from Gus Burton, who drops back on the outside. The rest of the cars streaming through Tarzan. That is the name of turn 1, around turn 2, and then it'll be up onto the mighty banking of turn 3. 19 degrees of it. The cars taking different lights. Sam de Jonge quite low down on the circuit. The rest of the cars taking a higher line. Here we come. It's flat out up the hill, down the hill, and then back up towards the blind crest. A textbook start from Benjamin Packer. He leads the way in the number 92 car. Flint Schuring into 2nd place, and Robert De Haan already making a move. He's up into 3rd, and you get a feeling he is not going to be very patient when it comes to trying to get past Flint Schuring. And look at him already challenging for that 2nd place. He looks to the outside. Around turn 9 they come, and slots past Flint Schuring. Schuring coming back on Benjamin Packer. 3 abreast for the lead. Robert De Haan, he's not hanging about. He gives Benjamin Packer the squeeze. squeeze, but this works for Flint Schuring. He's on the inside, still 3 abreast here. Amazing stuff from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It's Benjamin Packer who retakes the lead, but how close is that now? Gus Burton, after a bad start, squeezed to the outside, he drops back. Robert de Haan once again challenging for the lead. Ariel Levy in there as well. Flint Schuring back into that third place. Robert de Haan, he is impatient. Out into Lyondike, he comes onto the pit straight. He wants to get in front. They run side by side behind Gus Burton, getting swallowed up by the pack. Benjamin Packer just in front into turn 1. Under heavy braking, Robert de Haan has the line. Benjamin Packer gets it all wrong. Under braking into the gravel trap. He keeps it all going, but Benjamin Packer, all that hard work, all that fighting, he's going to drop a long way back. And it's Robert de Haan who takes his position at the front of the pack. Flint Schuring into second. Sandy Younger, very different line once again around turn 3, but amazing stuff. 3 abreast. Real entertainment from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Now, how far back has Benjamin Packer dropped? Well, he has dropped back a little way. Let's have another look here. You see Robert de Haan had the inside line into the corner, and Packer, well, he went to turn in. Flint Schuring was there, got it all wrong under braking. A depressing sight for him as he sees the rest of the field come streaming through, and he's got all that hard work to do to try and work his way through the track. The pack of cars. Gus Burton has been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Look at this replay. The squeeze. Well, if that was leaving the track and gaining an advantage, I don't see much advantage. He was picking up the dirt. That would have stuck to his tyres, and he would have lost traction after that little excursion. Robert de Haan, assuming the position that he's grown accustomed to in his brief career in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, and that is leading the field. Wonderful stuff. The number 77 car, Paul Meyer, at the front of a queue there as well. He is in 7th place, but now under pressure, Flint Schuring, and he's got Gus Burton looking to the outside into turn 1. And further back, Glenn Van Parijs. He's the driver that's come out of this very well indeed. The car looks remarkably similar to Benjamin Packer's car, but it is Glenn Van Parijs who's in 4th place, and he has just watched the cars tripping over themselves in front. Keep an eye on Ariel Levy, the driver from Israel, has been something of a sensation this year in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He is a man on a mission. You can see debris just in the racing line, just bouncing out of the way. Hope that's not going to cause any problems with punctures and the like. But Robert de Haan, there is an awful lot of debris out on the track. Marshals have been sweeping the track pretty well all day, because everything that is racing here this weekend has been getting down and dirty with it. But Robert de Haan, no mistaking there. He's muscled his way in front. Car 92 also noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So that is Benjamin Packer, who has also been noted for leaving the track. I don't really see there being much advantage there. But here we go. This is our race leader, Robert de Haan. I'm just looking to see where Benjamin Packer has shown up on the timing screens, and it's down in 17th place out of the points. So that was a disastrous moment for him in that particular corner. Right, here we go. We settled down a bit now. Ralph Poplars has got past Benjamin Packer. Ryan Ratcliffe getting out wide in the number 3 car. Ryan Ratcliffe, he is fighting hard, and a lock-up from our race leader, Robert de Haan. To remind you, these drivers do not have tyre changes. We don't do pit stops, so if he flat spots the tyres, he's going to have a vibration that he's going to have to carry for the next 25 minutes. This race, a 30-minute sprint plus 1 lap. We've already got 5 minutes in the book, and that is Ryan Ratcliffe doing a little bit of rallycross. He's in 17th place. But that will not have improved his pace any much at all, as Benjamin Packer also there. Ralph Poplars back behind the Benjamin Packer car, and there is somebody that looks like, is it Niels Troost going spinning? Just look and see who it is. Yes, the 78 car of Niels Troost, the Team GP elite car, and he's stranded in the gravel by the looks of things. If he doesn't get that going again, we may see a safety car. We saw somebody else locking up there as well, but none more so than our race leader, Robert De Haan. He needs to look after those tyres because 30 minutes on this track in this heat is an awfully long time to make those tyres last, and that is a proper lock-up. I should think those tyres will be shaped like 50-pence pieces once this race is done, and he's going to have all sorts of vibrations coming through the front of his car. At the moment, he has a 1.4 second lead over Flint Schuring, but that's going to be reduced to nothing because, as we suspected, the safety car is deployed in order to remove the Niles Truce Team GP Elite car. The guest driver here for this weekend, taking the next step up in the Porsche pyramid from Porsche Sprint Challenge at Benelux. Really good to have him here. It is a baptism of fire. There's some spare parts out on the track. Drivers needing to take avoiding action lest they become one of the puncture casualties, but some of the hard-working marshals here, boy, have they been working hard this weekend at Zandvoort. I dare say someone will duck out and grab that once the pack of cars has filed through. So, 22 minutes remaining of this race, a little over that, plus one lap. Oh, there's the marshal. Thank you very much, kind sir. Good job done. Back over the barrier to safety. It is Robert De Haan who leads from Flint Schuring. Ariel Levy in third place. Glenn Van Parijs, Gus Burton, then Paul Meyer, Rick Kern, Lucas van Eindhoven, Micah Stanley, and Dirk Shooter rounding out the top 10. Horst Felix Felbermeyer, Sasha Norden in 12th place. And Sasha Norden is once again the highest placed driver in the Pro-Am category. A driver who has been showing very well this season. Still trying to remove the 78 car. Ralph Poplars in the number 36 car is our leading AM driver, I beg your pardon, and he is 15th on the track, but he is the leading AM driver. His championship rival is 2 places behind. He's got Ryan Ratcliffe between himself and Cedric Chassang in 17th place. So, lots to play for. We have several categories. We have the overall championship that we are looking at. We have the AM Championship. We have the Pro-Am Championship. We have the Rookie Championship and the Team Championship. So it isn't just all that you see on the road as the Niles Truce car is being removed from the circuit very carefully. An awful lot of money's worth of car there. Dangling by a thread, get it out the gravel trap, get it to safety, and we will be back under green flag conditions very shortly. We're approaching the 1/3 distance of the race, and lots of challenging up and down the grid. Great stuff here from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It is race 5 of a 12-race season, and we will have the second race tomorrow for this, and pure entertainment from these drivers. So Niles Truce looking on, not the day he was planning to have as he guests in this series, but he'll be back again tomorrow and we'll have the opportunity to do it all again. So we're running behind the safety car at the moment with 20 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and it's still Robert De Haan who sees Flint Schuring in his rear view mirror. Just key at the moment, despite the ambient temperatures, still trying to keep the heat in the tyres and in the brakes. We have notification, the safety car is in on this lap. So very shortly the lights will go off on the safety car and it will be Robert De Haan who will become the de facto safety car. He will back the pack up. He's done this a few times, even this year, and it'll be his job to get Flint Schuring to catch him snoozing if he possibly can and to open up a gap. We always knew Robert De Haan was going to be a challenger. He got into the lead incredibly quickly while the pack was bunched up together. Now he will want to open up as big a gap as possible and leave Flint Schuring in his way. Flint Schuring, who had that pole position in Hockenheim in the first race, of course, he had that deflating tyre that eventually pitched him off into the gravel. He had a 4th place in the second race of the Hockenheim, but still looking to improve on a 3rd place, which is his best result of the season so far, which was at Spa-Francorchamps back in April. Right, you can see safety car has disappeared off into the distance. The cars are now approaching turn 11. Robert de Haan still weaving. It's his decision when he goes, but they cannot overtake until they cross the start-finish line. So de Haan will back them all up, and then he will hit the accelerator when he decides to go. Up towards turn 13 they come, and then he'll be up onto the banking of Lyondijk, turn 14. Some very eager cars further back. No overtaking, please. Yellow flag still going. Right, now Robert de Haan hits the accelerator, does exactly what he wants to do. Flint Schuring, a gap between him. Ariel Levy, well, he's going to be closing in on Flint Schuring. Ariel Levy with the rainbows representing Pride in June in third place. Glenn Van Perijs in fourth place. Gus Burton in fifth place. He's not done yet, is he? Here he comes. Gus Burton on the inside of Glenn Van Perijs into turn one. Under braking they come. Is Van Perijs on the wide outside now, challenging Ariel Levy. Glenn Van Perijs up into third place. So Van Perijs making a good job of the start, capitalising while the cars are all together. And Ariel Levy, well, he'll be steaming inside that car, no doubt about that. I've never seen anyone so disappointed with second place as he was at Hockenheim, but he really sees himself as a race winner here, and he will be putting the pressure on Glenn Van Perijs. The cars continuing out towards turn 7 they come. Keep an eye on Ariel Levy. He has been the man on a mission all season long, down to fourth place, but for how long? Behind him, Gus Burton, a very, very rapid driver. Here comes Levy to the inside of Glenn Van Perijs, and he spins and he gets collected as well. Damage to Ariel Levy. All that hard work. He sees the field, comes streaming through. Didier Glorier doing all that he can to avoid collecting Ariel Levy, but he drops right to the back. And Ariel Levy, he had a non-finish in Carrera Cup Germany earlier on. I'm having another look here, and this is a day he's going to want to forget, isn't he? He's on the inside now. Perijs goes to shut the door, pinches him down onto the curbing a little bit. Whether the stewards take a dim view of that remains to be seen. It has been flashed up on our timing screen as something they're going to look into. Didier Glorier taking to the gravel. He did well to keep that going. That gravel is very deep. So the race remains Robert de Haan from Flint Schuring, then Glenn Van Perijs, Paul Meyer up into fourth place, then behind Gus Burton with Rick Kern now challenging on the outside into turn 1. Keep an eye on Lucas van Eindhoven in the green car as well, local driver, and he really wants to put on a good show. Mika Stanley in there as well, up onto the steep 19 degrees of turn 3 they come, settling back down into something like a single file for the time being. Robert de Haan, well, he hasn't opened up as big a gap as he had done previously from Flint Schuring. The front two breaking away. Flint Schuring, the younger brother of Maurice Schuring. There's something that's in the water where they live, because they are both incredibly rapid. Of course, Maurice came through this series a couple of years ago. Now his younger brother Flint looking very rapid in this, just his 5th race in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Rest of the cars come streaming through at the moment. Glenn Van Perijs looking a little vulnerable in third place. There's Horst Felix Felbermayr in there as well. Another driver doing double duty with Carrera Cup Germany. He's in the middle of that pack. Dirk Schuiten, a man who looked very good in Hockenheim in 9th place. De Haan leading, Schuring second, Glenn Van Perijs in third, Paul Meyer in fourth, Gus Burton in fifth, Rick Kern in 6th ahead of Lucas van Eindhoven, Micah Stanley, Dirk Schuiten, Horst Felix Felbermayr rounding out the top 10. And then it's Sasha Norden, Rick Kern going wide, and Lucas van Eindhoven. I said keep an eye on him, but not for that reason. He's gone wide, he's got dirt on the tyres. He is going to take a little while to get that cleaned up. Let's have another look here. We can see Rick Kern, when he just loses the back end, he drifts out wide, and van Eindhoven almost follows him. The car gets a little bit airborne. He rejoins, but a lot of dirt and gravel. He's lost a load of places, and now a replay of Ariel Levy getting it all wrong, getting collected, and that car is damaged. I expect that Levy is going to probably end up back in the pits, although having said that, he's still circulating in 27th position. As a view of that, Ralph Poplars looks like it. Also, a bit of rallycross for him. So it's all getting a little bit leery in this part of the race. just looking at the timing screens, no investigation necessary, but there is a problem up there. That's it, Cedric Chassang. There's a car with a bonnet up as well. That's Juan Viñez. So safety car is out. I'm hoping the fence hasn't been damaged, because if it has, we're going to see a red flag. Clearly, there has been a big impact there. So Cedric Chassang and Juan Viñez, they've come together up on the banking of turn 3. Safety car is out, so once again the field will be brought back to a slow pace. Now let's have a look here. It's kind of happened off shot before. I'm pleased to say nobody's actually got into the barrier. That is where Mark Vester went in yesterday, and I have to tell you that concrete barrier versus Porsche, the Porsche doesn't win. But here they kept out of the barrier. A lot of fluid coming out of the Viñez car. The hard-working crew have been putting in the miles already today in pretty well every race and every qualifying session we've had. They're checking everything's all right, so we should be able to clear that up. Obviously, no overtaking, a much reduced pace for these cars, and they will continue to circulate, certainly for the next couple of laps behind the safety car while that is all cleared up. Just to reiterate, the incident with Ariel Levy, no investigation necessary, so our race director has taken a look at that and decided that there is no penalty to be awarded. You can see the marshals working hard. Such a shame for Cedric Chassang, who has been having such a good run of form. He had an 8th and a 10th at Hockenheim, and he's a driver who has been looking so good in the AM category. So Cedric Chassang was in 2nd place, just 1 point behind Ralph Poplars in the AM class. Ralph Poplars at the moment is in 18th place, but he is the leading AM driver, so he will pick up a whole hatful of points if things stay as they are. Sasha Norden in the number 21 car is our leading Pro-Am driver. He's making a habit of that, isn't he? He won the Pro-Am race last time out at Hockenheim. Prior to that, he's had 2 second places in category. So Sasha Norden in 9th place overall, and he is the leader in the Pro-Am category. Good opportunity to take a breath and just to check all that is happening around the circuit. It is Robert de Haan, Flint Schuring, Glenn Van Parijs. Those are your 1, 2, 3. I don't think Flint Schuring has given up on the top step of the podium quite yet either. We've lost from this Cedric Chassang, Juan Viñez in that accident you just saw, and we lost Niles Troost a little while ago, bringing out that first safety car. Of course, behind the safety car, the clock continues to tick, and I should think Robert de Haan will be quite happy about that. He's like, take your time, chaps. I'm happy out here leading the way. Flint Schuring would rather get on with it. Glenn Van Parijs, our championship leader in the overall championship. He's got a bit of work to do there. His main challenger in the championship is Robert de Haan. And I say he's the championship leader, sorry, he's 2nd in the championship. Of course, Robert de Haan is the championship leader by 6 points. Glenn Van Parijs really would like to get after Robert de Haan and get back up to the top of the point standings. You can see everybody being checked, no problems at all, but it does take time to get these cars removed and to get things cleared up here at the Zandvoort circuit. This is race 5 of the 12 race season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. We have another race tomorrow, and then we are already at the halfway point of the season. How did that happen? It seemed that long ago. We were in the wind and the rain at Spa-Francorchamps, and the season opened. It has been a season that has been very much about Robert de Haan and Glenn Van Parijs fighting at the top of the point standings. The rest of the cars coming through, just going through the fluid, which has been soaked up by, well, we say cement dust. I don't think it is actually cement dust, but whatever it is they put down to try and absorb whatever fluids have been coming from those 2 cars, but they still haven't moved them, and that's the remnants of the rainbow rear wing end plate that was adorning the Ariel Levy car. There are probably more efficient ways of removing that, but there it is at the side of the track. Nice souvenir for anybody who wants to get down there. And that has, well, Ariel Levy will not have improved the handling of his car, but he's still circulating in 25th place. He really doesn't like to give up. He had a nightmare in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany race earlier on. There are several drivers that are doing double duty with Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. There is, steady chap as you go across the tyres. Horst Felix Felbermeyer, Ariel Levy, Glenn Van Parijs, Robert De Haan, and they have been doing double duty this weekend and continue to do so with Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. While this is all going on, the clock continues to tick down, and this is actually going to be a bit of a sprint at the end of this race because they're still got to get those cars removed. One at a time. There goes the Cedric Chassain car. Oh, that's a lot of work that's going to need to be done by Team GP Elite tonight. Well, they're the local team. They've got billboards, don't drop it. They've got billboards all around the roads leading up to the circuit. They're proper local heroes, so they will get to work on that car. Whether it's that car or another chassis remains to be seen. But of course, Cedric Chassain, the local driver, one of the Dutch drivers, bits of the car dropping off. They drop it behind the barrier. It's safe, but that is not going to be turning any wheels in any hurry, is it? And then it'll be back out to get the number 13 car, the Baporo Motorsport Juan Viñez car, the Andorran driver, who is recording what will be his first non-finish of the season. He got a 14th place last time out at Hockenheim, and at Hockenheim started off having a troubled weekend, but then got better and better as time went on. Stayed out of trouble and picked up a good points haul. But there you can see that that good run has come to an end. The leaders come slotting through, avoiding all the debris on the track. And that is a perspective that nobody wants to see. A very badly damaged Porsche. And that will be taken back to Team GP Elite. Fortunately, they are based locally to here, so they will have all the spare parts that they need, and they will get that car rebuilt tomorrow, I have no doubt. The drivers are in good shape, the fence is in good shape, but the clock is still ticking down. It's going to be probably, well, let's see, where's Juan Viñez? They still haven't moved that car, so we're probably going to be into 5 minutes before that car is removed. Maybe we're going to tow that one off. But the time is ticking down, isn't it? And Robert De Haan continues to rub his hands together because his less laps he's going to have to defend from Flint Schuring. Less opportunities to make mistakes, for the tyres to go off. And Robert De Haan, less opportunities for him to pick up attention from the stewards to remind you that he did lose his win at Hockenheim just 2 weeks ago in race 2, having exceeded track limits. Flint Schuring also was penalised in that race for an incorrect grid position at the start of the race. But Robert De Haan also in the Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain lost a second place last week. The race stewards throwing the proverbial book at him for exceeding track limits, and he ended up out of the points. So he's learning that lesson the hard way. Stay within the white lines and all will be good. He is such a rapid driver. Last time I spoke about him, he was in Formula 4 a couple of years ago, and he was good, but not necessarily spectacular. But he's moved into a Porsche, and he has found his place in life. It has to be said that he is absolutely loving it. He's taken it to it like a duck to water. I think he is going to be in Porsche for a time to come. Be interesting to see if he makes it into the Porsche Junior shootout at the end of the season. Of course, Bastian Boos is the driver who won that last year and is the Porsche Junior for this year. The talent pool team have been working hard here as well. We have 7 drivers in the talent pool. They are mentored and trained by the former Porsche factory driver Dirk Werner, and they are trained in physical, mental health, but also things like nutrition, in finding sponsors, dealing with the media. Boy, they need help there. And the red flag is out. So red flag is flying. Now, I have a feeling this might bring the race to a close. So clearly there are issues, and it might be that our race steward just wanted to wait until we're into the last 5 minutes. We are running to a tight schedule here. The crowd's enjoying the sunshine out. There's a view nobody wants to see. The last 5 minutes here on the Zandvoort circuit. It might be, yes, race will not be restarted. So the race director has allowed the race to run until the 5-minute board, and we are on a tight schedule. There is a curfew here at Zandvoort. There's also an awful lot of seagulls as well. Yes, try and nick the beer. So the race will not be restarted. A little bit of an anticlimactic end, but Robert De Haan will take that. Thank you very much. His run of first and second places continues. It is a win for Robert De Haan here at Circuit Zandvoort for race 5. It is second place for Flint Scheuring. That will be his best result of the season, and it's third place for Glenn Van Parijs, equaling his worst finish of the season, because Glenn Van Parijs has had 2 wins, a second and a third. So a dramatic end, albeit slightly anticlimactic in the very closing stages, but Robert De Haan, that's points, he'll take it. Sasha Norden is the winner in the Pro-Am category, and the winner in the Am category is Ralph Poplars in the number 36 car. So points will be scored in all of the championships. Juan Vinales' car is escorted off the track, and confirmation that the race is over. It is Robert De Haan who is the winner of this, the 5th race of the season. The car's now going back into Parc Fermé. And we're sorry we couldn't bring you the second half of that race, but as I say, the time constraints here, it's a very packed program. We're here with DTM, we're here with Carrera Cup Germany, ADAC GT4 Germany, the F1 Academy are here. All sorts of action on track, and the curfew has to be adhered to. We had problems with it yesterday, and I think Gus Burton is struggling to get around the corner a little bit there, and going to need a bit of a tighter turn. 3 points, there you go. Full right-hand down driver, and back into Parc Fermé they come. And the rest of the cars will go into there. And hopefully, in a few moments, we can hotfoot Robert De Haan up to the podium and award him with his trophy. Flint Scheuring will be happy with that. I think he has certainly had aspirations to get past Robert De Haan, but you've got to get up pretty early in the morning to find a route past the number 46 car, haven't you? He's a driver who knows how to get his elbows out, and I think Flint Scheuring will be happy with that 3rd place. I think Glenn Van Parijs will be disappointed. I think he would have probably had a good pop at 2nd had the race gone the distance. But just to remind you, this is only 50% of it. We get to do it all again tomorrow. There will be a 2nd race of the season, and it will be of the weekend. It will be race 6 of the season, and that will be tomorrow at 4:30 local time. So make sure you join us for that, and we'll see how this unfolds. But at the moment, the headline here from Circuit Zandvoort, it's Robert De Haan who takes the checkered flag. The car's taking the long route back to the paddock. So don't go anywhere. We will hopefully bring the podium before too long, and then we will have the F1 Academy. We'll be lining up. The commentators are here, chomping at the bit, ready to go already. So it's going to be highly competitive. There's a slow-mo of our race winner, Robert De Haan, in the number 46 car, racing for Richardson Racing, the team from the UK who have been nurturing whatever they've done and told that driver, whatever they're feeding him, they keep doing it, because he is a man on a mission, and he has made everybody stop and look over their shoulders, and he takes the win here at Circuit Zandvoort. In 2nd place, Flint Scheuring. We'll maybe see a replay of him in a bit, but there's Robert De Haan, that car, and the double duty with him at in the Carrera Cup Germany as well, and he certainly made a few people sit up and take notice when he raced in that earlier on today. There we go. Slightly muted celebration, but still very happy with that. And no penalties incoming this time. Great to see the track limits. I haven't had one single notification. Well, we've had a couple of notifications of leaving the track to gain advantage, but that was mainly as a result of collisions. Oh, we like to listen in. It's always a white knuckle ride listening in. There is Morris, Flint Scheuring's dad, just at the side of the picture there, who is very proud of both of his sons. And so I think always trying to pick up any information we can. The very tall Robert de Haan. He was turned 17 years old the day before yesterday. Can you believe he's done all his winning so far as a 16-year-old? He can't even drive on the roads in the UK at that age. He's now finally 17. There is only one direction this driver is going to go. And he's going to become a thorn in the side to many of the other Porsche drivers over the next few events, years, however long. Just another day's work, eh? So Robert de Haan taking a drink of water, unbelievably hot in the cars. I mean, when it's 28.6 degrees centigrade outside, we'll add another 20 degrees to that. That's how hot it is in the car. Chatting to Flint Schuring. And there is Glenn van Parijs, who will consider himself to be the most hard done by as a result of that red flag, I expect. Paul Meyer, credit to him in 4th place. That equals his season best so far. And Gus Burton, well, he had a lively time of it, didn't he? But a 5th place for that, and Dirk Schouten in 6th place. So onto the podium we come. The FAC Autotech being represented there as well. So in just a few moments, hopefully we will see our drivers on the podium. And then our focus will turn to tomorrow. Finally, the car's cleared from turn 3. There is confirmation of the race result. Robert de Haan ahead of Flint Schuring and Glenn van Parijs, Paul Meyer, Gus Burton, Dirk Schouten, Horst Felix Felbermeyer. Good job there through to 7th place, ahead of Rick Kuhn. Sasha Norden winning in the Pro-Am category ahead of Benjamin Packer, the pole sitter. He did well to come back from there. Sam de Jonge, Ryan Ratcliffe, Lucas van Eindhoven, despite the rallycross. Mika Stanley, Aaron Mason ahead of Etienne Pleurns. And then Max Vales, Ralph Poplar, Sebastian Lajou, Quentin Antonell. And there you can see the rest of the results scrolling through. And a lively race for everybody. So just to remind you, it's de Haan who won overall, Sasha Norden who won in the Pro-Am category. And in the other categories, we have the pro rookie categories. I'll keep an eye on the social medias for all of the points standings throughout the rest of the day. Hopefully we'll get you an update on the points before tomorrow. As Ralph Poplar's, of course, in the AM category, who took the win. Seems like a long time ago we were last green flag racing, doesn't it? So here we go. This is Olivier, who's just consulting, ready to go with the podium. Thumbs up. Right, let's get on with it. We've had enough waiting around. And now, there's Robert de Haan, deep in thought. Finally cracks a smile.
But anyway, we have the
Flint Schuring with his best result. They're all looking a bit subdued at the moment, aren't they? So, the podium for race 5 incoming. Here's 3rd place, Glenn van Parijs. Yeah, I think the body language says it all. He really felt like there was more to come from that race.
And in 2nd position finished Flint Schuring.
Flint Schuring, local driver as well, into 2nd place.
And the winner is
and the man, well, you wouldn't have bet against it, would you? Robert de Haan, top step of the podium, clenched fist in the air. Richardson Racing will get a representative up there as well. And now the national anthem.
and Glenn van Parijs.
So, national anthem done.
And all the
That's an anthem we've heard a few times. Nobody had heard the Dutch national anthem until just a few years ago. Now we hear it whenever we go racing. Great trophies, look at that.
Please go ahead. Number 3, please.
Might need a bigger mantelpiece to put that on it. So there's third place. Glenn van Parijs. Get used to seeing Flint Schuring on the podium.
And the winner.
And definitely get used to seeing that man on the top step. By my reckoning, he will be top of the points again and continue to extend his lead. A win for Robert De Haan here in race 5 of a 12-race season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It has been action all the way. Drama, controversy, you name it, we've had it under the blue skies. Weather forecast, well, rumour has it, it's gonna be a scorcher tomorrow. We're expecting some very high temperatures. Tyre degradation could be an issue. The sun getting to the drivers' heads could be an issue. It's gonna be exciting. It will be race 6 of the 12-race season, so make sure you join us here at Circuit Zandvoort tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 local time and see whether Robert De Haan can continue his run of form and continue to steal those top steps from the podium. Can he continue his run of first and second places only? Well, Richardson Racing certainly hope he can. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow here in the sunshine at Circuit Zandvoort. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.